Good evening, managers, and welcome to tonight's episode of the FPL Ambassador show. It's as if we are taking one week break, 1 week break each. The week that I'm on, Marvin isn't on. The week Marvin is on, I'm also not on. But tonight promises to be an exciting one as we look forward to the double game week. Raymond, how far?
Tell me. Cool. This what do you call it? Game week is quite interesting. The last game week there, Charlie, we were head by Son. Son has really killed all the boys who didn't have him, but those who really had him have really benefited. But um, the planning going to this game week is quite very difficult because Charlie, should we buy the double players or should we buy the single players? Which of the single players do you drop? Should we go without Salah? Should we go without Charlie? Me, I can't. Seriously, I don't think there's ever a game week whereby I can say that confidently. I'm really, really confused to export. But Charlie, that's how FPL is. You have to rack the brain and then see how it goes there. Sure.
Sure. All right. So Marvin will be joining us soon on the program, so we get a show started.
Sure. So as you said, that we have a huge double game week ahead of us. Now that double game week has players like Ronaldo and Bruno. The point is, are we selling our Salah and Bruno, Salah and Co for these guys as well? But a quick review of game week 32. Roland, any key thing you picked up from game week 32? Any key points you picked? I talked about Son. Any other thing you picked up from there? Apart from what we know already.
Don't go points. Don't go points chasing, and because you swap out a foreman, but I just think that consistency is key. Moving forward until the end of the season, if you can remain consistent with your transfers or not be in a hurry to make transfers just because there's hype around certain players, that will also help. Yeah, but the key attraction of the week was Man City's game against Liverpool. That was a fantastic game to watch.
Okay.
And again, Salah didn't perform well, so that's something we will look at as we go on.
Charlie, that thing I say there, it's quite interesting. Now the point we are actually are saying that we shouldn't go point chasing. I think you made a point to me over the weekend that this week Son will score, Kane will score, and next week Kane will do it.
Yeah,
So if you are chasing, but if you are moving from one side to the other, it's going to be a challenge over there.
yes,
But
that is it.
I think
Yes,
that's
exactly what I
that's
mean.
what we're looking at. Okay, great. So we have quite a packed show today, so we have to move on quickly from here. I think every other thing that managers need to note, we've spoken about it all through our videos. So there's not much key information from the past game week there. Okay, Roland, this was your game week. Take us through it.
So my game week, I took a -4. I brought in Bowen. When Bowen scored in both the Europa League and against the team, I've been forgotten the team they played for before I brought him in. He scored. So you like to go on players that are on form, and when Bowen is usually on form, he performs well. But I think that the game they played in the Europa League took a lot out of them. The players were
Sure.
exhausted. So it wasn't really the West Ham that we are used to seeing over time. So that was a big disappointment. And again, as you mentioned, Son. I sold Son 2 weeks ago for Salah. And in that
Charlie.
period, Son has scored 5 goals, 1 assist. Salah has done nothing. It's rather unfortunate, but I mean, it's all part of the learning because I felt that if one player in Kulusevski and Kane, if they can't match Son, then it's amazing and tremendously. When you even add both their points, they weren't even able to match up to Son. So anyone who captained Son had 42 points. You
Charlie.
captain
Hey.
you still a deficit
Oh.
of 10 points. And
Charlie.
I
Charlie.
think Doherty
Charlie.
was the unfortunate casualty of the weekend. Many managers brought him in. I believe you and Marvin spoke extensively about it. And Marvin also
Yeah.
brought him in. just
Yeah.
for him to get injured in the 20th
Eh,
minute or so. I mean, it was
watch,
rather unfortunate. So
watch, watch. You know what? When Marvin comes there, I'll bash him. I'll tell him that he's the reason why Doherty is injured.
he jinxed the guy.
You jinx the guy, and the thing that we are all enjoying the guy. You know, you
Yeah,
come for
Charlie,
everything like that.
it counts for everything. If I had an inkling of him bringing him in, I wouldn't have brought him in
Ah,
because
okay.
yes, because I'm chasing him. So I don't want to bring in a player that he has already. I'm looking at a differential. So that's about it for my team.
Okay, so not bad. I think your team is well set up for this double game. You just need to make just one or two transfers. I think now you see the way the game weeks are going. You're having double here, this, then that. Managers should just watch this. Just have a core of your team. These are my core players I want, and you use your transfers to make the little transfers to get maybe the player one for a double game week, and then but don't spoil the core of your team just to get some returns. Otherwise, the next week you really have a huge challenge ahead of you there. So that is yours over there. But Roland, I think I want to say this on the show. You need to enter the top 100K to finish this season. So please, I beg you, make very sure that you. If you don't, I'm really really going to beat you.
I mean,
Okay,
I don't
sure,
know.
sure. So this is me. I have it quite a very. This is my. I don't know how to. I'm doing almost everything, but everything is not good. I think I've started doing a review of my own season so far. I'm getting some points as to what I think I entered so many parties ahead of time. I entered the Kane party, the Royal party, the song, the early ones. Anytime I enter the party is not ready. So I think maybe next season I need to check that. I'm too overthinking in some of these things, but and I missed all my hauls. Now, you know the very funny thing is I'll miss the Bowen Hall by one transfer, Chilwell Hall by 1 week. Just when I'm about to buy, and then something happened in my team. Now I'm going to buy a player, then I'll miss the Hall. So I miss
Yes.
about Charlie. No matter what, I think my target I've been saying just to either enter the top 300K or 500K, not no challenge there. So the very bad decision I made, which was to captain Saka. In fact, on the show I told Marvin last week that if I bring in Ramsdale, I will captain Ramsdale.
Hey.
Because I was really sure that at least across my team I didn't have surety on anyone who is going to get the point. Cancelo and De Bruyne, Cancelo and Arnold, and then Salah were meeting each other, and then so I knew that if Ramsdale at least can keep a clean sheet against Brighton, funny thing that the previous week Brighton could not score Norwich. So I knew that if they can't score Norwich, the Arsenal are there clean sheets for Ramsdale. So I knew that if the clean sheet comes, at least Arsenal will get one goal. Most likely Saka will be involved. So then I chose Saka. I think you spoke about some very key things to me about Kane and assist, and I think I want to make this point on the show. I wasn't trusting Kane to score. That was my point. I wasn't trusting, but I just had him on my vice, and I felt that the safest captain for me was Saka. I mean, safe meaning the point that at least I'll get a captain return, because to me, I felt that Kane might not get a goal or he might get, and I wanted just the captaincy return. But then the key thing we need to pick is that even if Kane is not scoring, Kane is assisting very well. So his SGI is really, really high. And I think we weren't able to speak much about it last week for captaincy. And you were saying that you'd have prompted me about that last week.
Yeah, if I'd been on the show.
Yes, you'd have prompted me about it. But I think it's past and go. Move on there. So that is it with my team now, looking quite manageable for the double game week as well. So this is Marvin. So Marvin has dropped out of the top 100K, but I'm sure he will also be pushing back into the top 100K. So this is his team. He went with captain. The way I watch Marvin on the show, I want to tease him. He's playing 5-4-1. I asked him why he's at Atletico Madrid.
That's
but
funny.
but he brought in Doherty, who really really caused. Who came to James Doherty. The Doherty we have been enjoying. Marvin Kwakwonton was saying about actually how do it, but the Kane captaincy was good there. I think his challenge this week will be Rafinha is out. Managers, pardon me, I have a kind of a cold, so it might be straining my sound, but just take it like that. Just manage it. I hope it gets better. So I think his challenge will be to do a Rafinha move, and I know Marvin is going to buy Madison. I predicted it on the show there.
Ah,
So that is it. They want to move quickly to this game week. Now our take, so you will see that you will see that our take, though, Foster and Ramsdale, Shea, Alonso, and
ah,
I want to give a huge call to Marvin. I want to say this on the show. Last week, Marvin called Alonso, and Marvin said Alonso is going to do it, and Alonso has done it. And the way Alonso played in the Champions League, I'm very sure Tuchel is now going to play him. So managers looking for direct replacement. I'm saying on the show, Alonso is the guy to go. There's don't think too much about it. I think Alonso is 5.5. So that's even quite easier. You just upgrade some coins and then go there. And Fabian Schär did the job for me there. Saka didn't do the job for Marvin, but I had Son. So Son really did the job for me. Yes, Son did the job and gave the point. Just that I wasn't confident. I thought the game against Villa would have ended like 2-1 or so. Otherwise, I'd have gone for Son as captain, but at least he did the job there. And seriously, Ivan Tony is really doing the job. You know, some of us got Tony for the blank game with 30. And those who have kept him, I enjoyed his point over there, but I think it's all there. Marvin also called Pookie. Last week.
I call
So
Puki.
Marvin called Pookie. So it's not you, Roland. This last week your picks didn't come. So Marvin's picks are the first one, and my picks are the second.
So you picked the second one.
Yes, I picked the second one.
Okay. Hey, then last week Marvin hit too, but you did
Marvin,
well because Tony and the
yes,
son no.
Tony and the son, and then Sha.
Yeah, and
And then
Sha too.
and then
And
Madison.
Madison.
Madison
Yes.
also returned. So I had like let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 out of 6 of my calls.
6,
Marvin had 1,
1,
2,
2.
3, 3.
Hmm.
So Marvin had 3 out of that. But that being said, game week 32 is behind. Let's move forward to game week 33. So Roland, these are your key players for game week 33. Speak to
I
us.
think
Speak to us.
you've seen a familiar face in name in Ramsdale. You've
so,
gone back.
somebody will say that last week I got your eyes and I used your eyes to make, and and then this week the Real Roland has come back and had the same prediction for the first 3 as well.
So I didn't even know that those were your picks last week, but Ramsdale and goal. Arsenal's not looking too good, but I don't trust the Newcastle defense. Yeah, so I just went simple and went in for Ramsdale. At least what we know is that after conceding back-to-back goals and defeats, it will be on them or unusual for Arsenal to just go into these 2 game weeks conceding in both games. At least I expect 1 clean sheet from uh, the games. If not, then point safe, because you look at Arsenal's first game, and Arsenal's first game is against Southampton, but we are tipping Southampton to also score because they're at home. And with that, I mean, anything from him is a bonus. So
Sure.
2 games, Then I move to Shah. Fabian Shah, I mean, when you look at his record in the past 5 game weeks, he's had, I mean, two goals, 1 assist, 5 bonus points. That's good enough. And I think about 2 or 3 clean sheets. So that's not bad for a defender. I mean, they are in form. They are doing well. Newcastle is defensively solid now. They're not shipping goals in like they used to before. Then
Yeah.
we have a midfielder,
Um,
Son. Went
Roland.
an obvious.
Okay. Finish.
Yeah,
Roland, finish.
go
Finish, then
on.
I'll talk. No, you finish,
Okay,
then I'll speak.
so I went in for an obvious choice in Son. Uh, looking at exactly how things have panned out for him in the past 3 game weeks. So he's doing not so badly. Then I moved to yeah, Ray.
Yes. Continue your flow.
Yeah,
I think
so
that was a break, so
yeah,
continue.
yeah. So forward, I've gone for Adams. I'm thinking Shea Adams can have a good game week this week with Broya back. That partnership can help him, and it won't be far fetched if he even gets a goal or an assist for the 2 game weeks. I'm not trusting so much of Wood. Many are going for Wood, but I think we'll get to that one soon. But I feel a Southampton striker bodes better because you look at Newcastle, they don't score more than 1 goal. But Adams and Southampton score at least 1, 2, sometimes 3. So an opportunity against a weakened Arsenal defense without Tierney, without Partey, it can bode well for Adams. Then my differential players from Leicester. Leicester, Dewsbury Hall. He's been
Yes.
under the radar for quite a
Sure.
while now. I mean, he's been a
At
few
4.4.
games here and there, and now he cemented his place in the team. He's a one to me who doesn't really look like one who'll be benched. There are certain players like
Sure.
Tielemans, like
Sure.
in every game, that Bruno Fernandez would play every game week, every minute. So he's such a player. They want to rest Barnes or Madison during both games. So Dewsbury Hall is the one to go for if you want a differential player. Captain, I've gone in for Fernandez simply because of the number of games that he has. I've looked at it from the perspective. Yes, I've looked at it from the perspective that the Norwich game is what everyone is looking at. Then it will be so sad for managers if you get in him for the Norwich game and that game ends 0-0, or you get a goal from Harry Maguire or Smash
Yes.
Shirov. Because it will be like Liverpool game is just a bonus. But frankly speaking, I'm looking at the Liverpool game to even be a route for him to score rather than the
Yeah.
Norwich
True.
game. Because
I
yes, go ahead.
no, finish.
Yes. So because of the number of games that Liverpool has and the intensity that with which they played against Man City, they play them again. They go again this weekend. For me, that will take a lot of. It'll be an energy sapping game. It'll take a lot out of their players. So just like what happened yesterday with them and Benfica, you can see that if Man United is able to take their chances, not to win the game necessarily, but to get a goal or two, I think that'll be fine. So he's my
Okay.
captain for the week. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So I think one thing about, yes, I'll start with the captain Fernandez. I think a very key point about Fernandez is, our focus is mostly about the Norwich game, but the Liverpool game is a derby game. No matter how bad United is, um, United would want to do something against Liverpool, and I strongly think that. Also, one thing we need to know is that Liverpool are playing City, and it will be a energy sapping game against City. So when they play City, and then they will come and face United. Though both of them are all playing on Saturday and then on Tuesday, I think that if it was just a 1 week game, then straightforward Liverpool over Man U. But I think that with Liverpool playing City and then playing in Champions League as well, it's really going to be a challenge. And then United will want to try and do better relatively there. So United assets are players we need to watch out for in this game week as well. Um, Fernandez is the guy. If Fernandez or Ronaldo, but Charlie, Ronaldo is really, really tough because if you want to go Ronaldo, it means you have to let go of Kane, and Kane is playing against Brighton. So that is for the first one. And the second one is on Sa. On Sa, I think yes, Sa is 4.4, and Dewsbury Hall is 4.4. So these are budget players. Yes, these are players that really help you. So even if you are free hitting, these are players you could get because they give you the balance of your team to be able to move on to and do quite very well going forward there. And then with Adams will let me talk about Broha. If you have Broha, you can still keep him because at least he has double games. Southampton are playing against Burnley and against Arsenal. At least if they don't do well against Arsenal, they will do well against Burnley. Talk of talk of Burnley. Talk of Burnley reminds me of the Kane.
Vegas.
They say that he's called Kane Wegost. Some call him Wegos Almighty.
Hmm. He's such a pro.
You know what? Me, I sold Wegos. Last week I said I wasn't doing right. I got that. I said I need to sell. If I don't sell this guy, he will be my team star. So that
Hmm.
isn't there. So these are Malvin's picks for the week. So I'll take us through Malvin's picks for the week. So Malvin's picks for the week, he has Dubravka in pole, Newcastle have a double, and Newcastle's defense is relatively better. They are facing Leicester and then Crystal Palace. Even if they lose their clean sheet, Dubravka would get in some save points over there. So that's something that we need to note as managers there. And a very key point I like about Marvin's take is about Alex Telles. Luke Shaw is injured now. So because Luke Shaw is injured, it means that Telles is now assured on the left wing. And now Norwich last 2 games have shown that Norwich are exposed on the wings. So if you want to buy a United player, most likely a United player who plays on the wings is somebody you should look at. So either Sancho or Telles, because Norwich are mostly exposed on the wings. So Telles would really, and then United are among most of the teams most assured of a clean sheet this week. So at least if he gets 1 clean sheet and then maybe 1 assist, that is maybe like, let's say 9 points. And then against Liverpool, even if he concedes 2 goals, that will be just 1 point. So that will be 10 points. So Telles looks more like the most assured player. If you are really doing just a 1 transfer in defense, Telles is the guy to go on for. If you are free hitting, Telles is the guy to look to as well. Then Saka, I think we've spoken about Saka for the past few weeks now. Now Saka is a key player in Arsenal, and as you said, Arsenal will be looking to bounce back from their 2 losses to Palace and then to Brighton. And Saka looks like the talisman of the team. Almost everything passes through him. Even though it is he and Odegaard, at least if he's not scoring, he's assisting over there. So Saka is someone to look over there. And then Marvin went for Rodriguez. Oh, where's Marvin? I want Marvin today. Because I want Marvin to explain to me why he went for Rodriguez over Weghorst.
Vegas, I'm sure this coming game week, Vegas will be benched.
But Sean Dyche made some very key comment about Weghorst. He said that Weghorst is much concerned about the team now, but when he came, he scored some goals and had assists. But it looks like Weghorst is much concerned about the team now. But Sean Dyche was saying that Weghorst should forget about the team and rather focus on himself, because he also needs to. No matter when you're the talisman and number 9, you also need to score the goals. Not about not about just winning the headers and giving it to others and helping the team. Yes. You also need to try and get. So that's it. But Marvin says that Rodriguez is weak, and then they in case you wild card, and I bought Weghorst, and I said after 1 week.
Go.
What I wild card in 31? I bought Weghorst. And at that Weghorst spot, actually I had 20 there. I could have kept 20, but I felt that no. Weghorst will play 5 games over the 3 weeks. And after the first 2, I bought. I sold you. I said, this guy, if I don't sell it. And the reason being that even though he's a guy leading up point, he's not getting involved in the real attacking play. Yes. So it makes him more of an asset for just 2 points. And I felt that if I knew that in 30, I wouldn't have bought him. But what do? We learn from business. And I think it's better I've got him at there. So Rodriguez is there. And then Raheem Sterling, seriously. I was saying that I have been this week. I don't think I've had an FPL week whereby I have made like so many drafts in just a space of just 1 week. If you check my phone, I have like 30 plus drafts, and my drafts are looking at how to get De Bruyne, how to get Son, how to balance it, and almost every week, every new day I have a new draft and plan as well. But that being said, Sterling is somebody who was one of my drafts, and City are just about to embark on those games whereby they will win 2-0, 1-0, 3-0, depending on how the results will be. And Sterling is somebody who is really, really doing well there. Now, and City are flag trap bullies as well. In those games, I hear that because they have a lower goal difference against Liverpool. I'm thinking that now they are going to be thinking about scoring more. So, and Sterling most likely will be getting some penalties here or some assists here or there. So Sterling, but the only challenge about Sterling is price point of 10.5. So managers who are trying to get in De Bruyne and are still not able to get De Bruyne because of fans, Sterling is a good player to look over there. At least even if he doesn't play all the games, at least you play, let's say, 4 out of 5 games. And you know that when Sterling plays, he might get in some results. The player I really, really want for City is Mahrez, but Charlie, Pep relent. So that's it. And then Marvin goes with Madison as captain. I think the only challenge with Roland, can you check whether Leicester have qualified? Okay,
They have
qualified. They have qualified.
Yeah.
They qualify. Okay, great. If they've qualified, that is good. So it means that Leicester will still have some games to play. So some people are saying that there might be some risk of rotation for Madison, but I think
Madison even
whatever
scored
it,
tonight.
who
Madison.
great. So somebody says that these things sometimes it's a will. The player will go and score the goals in the games that are not important, and then and then the games that we didn't even FPL, he doesn't do the points. So it's a challenge there. So that is so all the score line in the Leicester game. I wanted to check
It's 2-1.
2-1. So Leicester is true, right?
Yes.
Great. Who scored the other goal for Leicester?
Uh, oh, Pereira.
Pereira. Okay, Ricardo Pereira on at right wing. Okay, great. So that is it there. So Roland, any take on Marvin's picks before we move to
Uh, I think they are
other
solid.
games?
Like you mentioned, I think the Sterling pick for this week is what I'm a bit concerned about because Sterling was dropped yesterday. So I'm thinking that he comes back into the game for the Liverpool match. Then I think that he dropped again for the Brighton game. But I mean, Pep is Pep. We don't know what he'll do. But apart from that, going Rodriguez, yes, it was on my mind, and I had a draft that I had him in because I went back to check the stats. His stats, they didn't look so convincing, and I'm not too sure if you start. There are certain players that even when they have a bad game week, you know that the following week they'll start. And there are others too who would have to have a good game week throughout in order for them to start. So it's one thing that managers should also look at. If a player like Saka has one bad game week, definitely he plays the next game week. Now, if a player like Nketsiah comes in for us now and has one bad game week, the next game week he would be in trouble. So it's one for us all to look at. So yes, I think the picks are daring picks. They are picks that I mean ordinarily you'd go for because he wants to risk it to if you don't risk you don't get a reward. So that's what he seems to be looking at. And the Tellers pick is a very good pick, a very good shout. I mean, right now he doesn't have anyone to compete with over there, so it makes it easier. And with how service was poor to Ronaldo last week, I think they would have been working on crosses this week, and he has such a good left foot to be able to curl the ball around. Now, just thinking about what you've said, my worry now is Ronaldo could even outscore Fernandez. I'm just thinking, yeah, looking at it. But anyway, you get there soon. So
We'll get there soon. Sure. Okay, so good. Sorry, man. Just at the point you see me on off. I have a very terrible cold today. I'm trying to battle it. I'm just praying I'll be able to go through. So please, sorry if you are still at the point. I'm just dashing on and off out here. So these are budget players speaking about, but at least for now, you should have these Amate Gordon. Okay, now moving into this week. So this is a very good week to free hit because the reason to free hit is that this is the week whereby you have some players who are playing some very good games, but are not team players you want in the long run. So that these Man United assets, you might not want to keep them for a very long time. So what do? The only way to go around is the free hit. If you have a free hit now, as we talked about last week, you can free hit in at 33 or 36. 36 is relatively better for a bench boost. So if you have one free hit, it's best you free hit now depending on how you have the bench, they can bench boost there. So I came about a free hit team. Now I had a great challenge doing the free hit team. So I did my first free hit team. I said, watch, I'm going to choose quality players over players with fixtures, quality over quantity. So the first one was to have a team with players who I know can do a very good job versus a team with the players who have the plenty games. So we have quality versus quantity. So I merged them, team A and then team B, and this is up on the screen now. So now, if you carefully look at team A, I think maybe let me look at it from that side one by one, and then I'll come to put them together. So team A, you see that team A, I have the players who have the I don't want to lose Salah, I don't want to lose Kane, I don't want to lose De Bruyne. Now De Bruyne is injured, so if De Bruyne is injured, then it means that it's a de facto move for Fernandez. So that is how it is, and then and I don't want to lose Arnold. So you see that I've kept Arnold in there, and I've kept Laporte, City clean sheet, and then I have Arsenal. So it's a mix of players with the games and then single and then but and then Schmeichel Ipo. These are the keys. So it's a 3-5-2 formation over there. But then if you look at Team B, if you look at Team B has the players with the plenty games over there. So you have Schmeichel also Ipo. I think Schmeichel is the best keeper to have, especially in the long run, because Leicester have double 33, double 36, and then double 37. That is really so. Even if Schmeichel is not going to give you a clean sheet, at least if he gives you 2-2, this week is 4. 36, 2-2 is also 4. 2-2 is what? Another at least better at that price point. Now, in this game, in the second team, I'm actually the only single players I'm keeping are going hard on Son and then Son and Kane. Now, Son and Kane, the challenge is that Son and Kane are the only two players who are on form as of now, and they are playing Brighton, and then they are very close to deadline. So at least you have any information. We are very sure these two guys will play. Now the other single players like Salah and then De Bruyne are players who might be benched based on the results in the FA Cup. Even though they are in a title race, anything can happen. They can even get injured or a slide block or stuff like that. So at least the only single players I'm keeping are Son and then Kane. Now, Roland.
Yes.
Sorry. So now the point is to do that. I have to now get the players that play games. So I have Schmeichel in pool, and then my back line will have Shah, Fabian Shah. We've spoken about Newcastle, Telles of Man U, and then Ben White. So the defense is not really a very strong defense, but then it helps me to go all the way in attack. So in attack, I have Saka, I have Son, I have Madison, and I have Fernandes. And then I have Chris Wood, Kane, and then Ronaldo. So this one allows me to have my two explosive guys in Son and Kane, and then to target the Norwich fixture when I'm expecting that United will want to bounce back, knowing that now that if they don't push it hard, they might lose any chance of European football next season. So this is it there. So now I have Team A and then Team B. Now I don't think you've noticed, but Roland, I'm not speaking about Chris Wood. Chris Wood is a constant in all the two teams. So Roland, how do you see Team A and Team B?
Well, Team A is a more balanced team, not putting all your eggs in one basket, not going in for quantity, but they are rather going in for quality. Being assured that you have certain players, premium players in your team that can uh, do the magic for you at any point in time. Now, when you look at Team A extensively, you can tell that the favorites in Salah, Kane, De Bruyne, Alexander Arnold, Laporte, White, Madison, Saka. I mean, these are players that we have seen them perform at a certain level. So it gives you that kind of, you know, is it what's the word? It gives you that kind of assurance that
Sure.
uh, these guys will do the work for you. But when you go to Team B, you'll be sitting on tenterhooks. You wouldn't be too sure what you'd get from this team exactly because you look at Man United is a team in turmoil. So you look at it, their ups and their downs. Easily can lose against Norwich. Easily can lose against Liverpool. You don't know which one turns up. So it's more or less like I'm doing guesswork and I'm just hoping rather than looking at the analysis and taking those players who you know can perform for you. But if you look at it, Kane and Son in your team is not bad. Madison is a constant, so is Saka. I think Fernandez and Ronaldo, they've proven over time that they can do or produce the goods at any time. But right now, they are so unreliable. Then you look at Fabian Shah. Newcastle is a team down there. You look at White, not so good. Leicester conceding every game. The last time they kept a clean sheet was like in December. Man United kept a clean sheet last, I think, a month ago or 2 months ago. So, so you look at this team, it's more of hope rather than you looking at analysis. Okay, I'm hoping that with this kind of a little bit of analysis that I have done, these players can perform for me, but they are not being realistic. So me potentially, the gambler that I am, I'd rather go for B than A because there's no excitement in A. More or less, all the managers have players, these players in Team A. I'll go for Team B because you are chasing, right? So if it's a free hit, you just take a risk. You don't take a free hit to be conservative. You take a free hit to be able to move up. So I don't see the issues when I go in for players that everyone has, rather
Ever
than
has, okay.
yes, rather than pushing up. So I think B for me.
Okay, but the only thing about Team B is if your players backfire in the games, all the managers who don't have the free hits are now going to punish you because you would have gone against Salah, and if Salah dismantles United, and in fact, all these are
It's
Salah has been disappointing us recently.
Yeah,
Don't
so it's
maybe
it's a
I'll
high
jinx it.
risk, high reward thing. So you look at it, okay, can Fernandez, so you see, more or less all hope is on the Norwich game. Okay, if Fernandez can get a goal or two, okay, that means that maybe you get like 12, 13 points. If he plays against Liverpool, 15 points. Can Salah match the 15 points? Maybe, maybe not. You get it. So
Sure.
that is how I think managers are looking at it.
I'm looking at as well. Yes, and a key point and a key point to talk about is that in Team A, now that De Bruyne is injured, you can bring in Fernandez in there for De Bruyne. So it makes
Exactly.
Team A, yes. So Team A
Yes.
can be relatively better. You can still go the Team A approach and still have Saka, De Bruyne, Madison, Salah, and Kulusevski, and have Kane and then Wood up front, and then you still have Laporte and then Cancelo, Trent at the back, or you can just decide to go with Cancelo and then get another defender in there over there. So that is Team A versus Team B over there. Marvin, welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes. So I have put in the two free hit teams over there. One that Team A trying to have a balanced free hit team, not go full on the doublers, and then Team B going full on the doublers over there. That is it. We have done over there. Any would you want to comment or we should just flow?
So please move on. I just came so.
Okay. Okay. So managers, it's up to you to decide on what to do over there. I have a terrible quote today. It's really worrying me today. Okay, now we've spoken about this for a while, so we've now reached 33, where the key thing is about where some teams are doubling and some are actually blanking. Now the key point to note is um Wolves, Leeds, and then Aston Villa are blanking. So if you have any Wolves assets, Rafinha, I'm sure most boys who enjoyed the Rafinha points from last week, Rafinha. But anything there. Somebody said that Rafinha will never haul, get a double. You know when we teased Rafinha last week, that he decided to punish us.
Hmm.
But Marvin, don't you have him?
Yeah, he has him. He surely
Yeah, I
has him.
do.
Don't you also have him, Raymond?
I sold him. I sold him for Madison. I told you that I wanted to get rid of Regos, and to get rid of Regos, I had to. But the point is that if you check the expected goal stuff, Rafinha's expected goals was really, really, really low. Expected goal involvement was very, very low. That's the only game that he has hauled. And all the games that he had high expected goals, Rafinha
Normal.
decided not to do anything as well.
It's very
So
normal.
now, a very key thing for managers to note is that from Ben Crelling's predictor, which he was predicting as from last week, what he was saying was that um, Chelsea and then Man U might have a double game week 34, and it looks like not likely that now that Chelsea has been knocked out of the Champions League, the Premier League has also given an update just this evening, and this evening the update is that the Chelsea and Man U tentatively for now is earmarked towards 34. If Chelsea beats Palace in the FA Cup this weekend, then it means that double is officially confirmed. So they have given that information out now. But if rather Palace beats Chelsea, then the double won't come on, and then rather the Palace will have a double in game week 35. So that is just like how Ben predicted over there. So it means that managers who are buying Man U assets, if you really think that Chelsea will really beat how do you call it, Man U, then it means that Chelsea will beat Palace. It means that you are buying players for Man U. Man U is going to get a double. Now, Roland, Marvin, would you, if Man U are going to get a double in 33 and 34, would you dare sell Salah to buy Bruno? Marvin?
I don't think so, because I'm
Oh,
looking at Salah's fixtures. He's playing what, Everton and Newcastle against what, Salah's 4 games. Sorry, Fernandez's 4 games. Arsenal away, Chelsea at home, and then Brentford at home. Hey, sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to understand the.
Just look at the top. You see 34, 35. So it means that Liverpool has Everton and Newcastle, as you said. That's it.
But Manchester United, I see here they have Arsenal and who?
Chelsea.
So Chelsea. And then in game week 35, they have just Brentford. Am I correct? Not Brentford and Chelsea. Or?
No. So now United has Norwich and Liverpool. That's a double game week for United.
I mean, 34, they have Arsenal and Chelsea.
Yes. So the question he's asking is, do you think that for Liverpool playing, so Man United and Watford, do you think Salah will get more points than Fernandes will get in the next 4 game weeks?
Fernandes, the sure banker game in which he's likely to get points is the Norwich game. And also, because Arsenal at the moment are out of sorts, definitely I think Arsenal as well. The Chelsea and Liverpool game is a bit tricky for me. So against the Liverpool team who is playing United them shine, so Salah can do something there definitely. And Everton, nah, personally I won't do it. I don't think United have done enough for me to want to move to their assets at the risk of Salah. So I don't think I personally would do it.
Okay, Roland, will you do it?
Yeah, you know me already now.
When Roland sees opportunity, you always go for it. So
you know me. I mean, if it's even a -20 to even get him in, I'll do it because. I mean, just
make your point.
My point is that when you have 4 game weeks, soccer is so unpredictable.
No, it's not 4 game weeks. It's 4 games.
4 matches. Sorry.
4 matches.
Yeah, I beg your pardon. Yeah. So 4 matches. So I mean, like I said, soccer is unpredictable. So you can't even. I'm not really looking at the Norwich game as the game for Fernandes to get points, but you look at the fact that will these players be up for it? Like I said before, you don't know which Man U team will turn up, but obviously against Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea, you can't expect United to lose all. It's not possible. No matter how rotten the team is, you don't expect them to lose 3 in a row. It won't happen,
It's
right? And come again.
It's very possible. Continue.
Oh no, I mean anything is possible. Like I said in the beginning, soccer, but it's highly like it's improbable that it will happen. But
hey,
I mean,
United bias is improbable.
Oh no! I mean, come on, let's be real. Which of the big?
I'm joking.
I guess yeah. So which of the big 7?
A big game is a game that it can go anyway. But against the only clear loss you expect is maybe against Liverpool. Against Chelsea, it can be a draw or a loss. Against Arsenal, United can win, and then Norwich can't.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So for a player who has 4 game weeks and is a sure banker to play all 4, start all 4, play almost 90 for all 4, and Salah who has 2, yes. And now we know Salah's form is not that great, so it's not a matter of us trying to make it seem like Salah is in the form of his life and you are scared to take him out.
In the previous part of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. So I mean, his head is not in soccer spaces at all. I mean, seeing Mane every day must be frustrating for the guy, and he's not looking good. Yesterday, when he came on, anything. So me, I don't think that his head is in the game. Okay. So if I had I'll take it.
Okay, but there's no possibility that club benching Salah is rather going to now help him rather regain, because when a player plays for that those many games, sometimes he just needs a little rest to just refresh the system. So let's see, maybe against it over there, anything can happen over there. Okay. So that's it there. So managers. So the point is, this has now been confirmed. Marvin, you're a bit confused. In 35, Ben Crowley was saying that it will either be 34 or 35. But he said there's a higher possibility for 34 than 35. So now it is confirmed for now. But everything still depends on if Chelsea will beat Palace. So it's everything is still tricky. So it depends on how you look at all of these plans as well. But that said, in 36, you have the biggest double game week of the season. 11 teams will double there, and most likely even City might also double there. So those having their bench boost, as you said, bench boost will be very good in 36. And it's such that you can decide to wildcard in 34. So those who having their second wildcards are now, you can just wildcard in 34, get in all the assets you need for 36, bench boost in 36, and then you finish the season over there. So we won't talk much about this. Focus is much about this double game week 33. We've spoken much about these things for a while on the show. Now, key thing is, now this City and Liverpool Spurs assets, should we lose them, Marvin? I think right here earlier in the show. So let me ask earlier in the show. So let me ask you this question: would you lose your City, Liverpool, Spurs assets to get in the assets for Man U, Leicester, Southampton, Newcastle, Arsenal, and Brighton? Would you do that? Would you change your team for these players?
It depends. I think it depends on the fixtures. So I don't know. Are you concentrating just on game week 33?
So just this week, just 33. If it's 33, what would you do that?
If you're on a free hit, why not? Because free hit is all about attacking the fixtures. So if you're on a free hit, I don't see why you shouldn't let go of some of the players to. Just that this free hit is a bit confusing because I actually think that the single game week players have a better fixture than the double game week players. So yeah, but if you're on a free hit, yeah, definitely, because you might have maybe 3 Liverpool assets, 3 what's it called? 3 Spurs assets.
Marvin, you weren't here. I spoke about this thing. So since you are here, I'll give you time to speak about this thing again. I want to have your take on it. So I had 2 teams, team free hit A and then free hit B. B was focused on the players with the double game weeks, and then the free hit A. As you are speaking, that's why I'm just bringing this. So you have Son, you have Arnold, you have Laporte. All of these have single games but have good games, and then you have Salah, and then you have Kane, Kulusevski. But the double game weekends are the Saka, Madison, and then Wood. And I was even looking at De Bruyne, but De Bruyne is now injured. So if De Bruyne is injured, then I'll bring in Fernandes. You think that this team on the left, team A, will be better than the team having the doublets playing team, but the defense is not that very good. You have Shah in defense, you have Telles and White. So all these are doublets. And then you have Saka, Madison, Fernandes. And then you have Wood and then Ronaldo up front. And then the only single players you have are Son and Kane. How would you decide between the two?
So
Which
hold
would you
on.
prefer?
So first, I think what will help me, what are the different players? Because there are similar players. So what are the different? So let me see. So
The
team
different
A.
players, Ronaldo
So okay,
against Salah, De Bruyne against Fernandes, and then Son against Kulisevsky. That is in attack. So Ronaldo against Salah. You have Ronaldo against Salah. You have Fernandes against De Bruyne, and then you have Son against Kulisevsky. And then you see that at the back, Team A would have the very strong backline of Arnold, Laporte, and then White. But then Team B, the doublest team will have Sarr, Telles, and then White.
So I think you said De Bruyne is injured also.
Yeah,
right?
De Bruyne is injured. It's confirmed
So-
that he will most likely
so-
miss. But we don't know the extent of the injury. That's the issue. We have to wait
Okay,
to
so
know.
if De Bruyne was injured, what are you doing to Team A? Who are you bringing in?
Team A, Bruno will come in default, de facto.
So the difference really, I don't think is so much. So I mean,
The difference is at the back, whereby you get Trent and Laporte and White against Sarr, Telles, and then White. And then you can have Son in the aggressive team against Kulusevski.
excuse me.
Roland says you go Team B for information.
Yeah, I'm thinking Team B. Not even because number one, right now Son is on another level. That's one thing that's taking it for me because Son can just score at the moment because it seems that Son and Kane are quote unquote playing the opposite position. So Kane
Sure.
is becoming the assister, Son is becoming the scorer. So Son can tip it for me, honestly. So I think I'll go Team B with this one.
Team B with it. Okay,
Mhm.
great. So it just means that you just need to have a mixture of the players who have the double and then the single games as well. So Team B has won on the show today. Roland,
Hmm?
what are you doing to your team this week?
This is not my team. Oh. This is the
This is
team
your
from
team.
last 2 weeks.
This is who's teams from the last 2 weeks.
This is my team from 2 weeks ago.
Are you sure? This is your team.
No,
No,
you
This is your
have to
team.
look out great for Bowen
because
or
Kane. You go to the go to.
Hey. Okay, Roland, I've made a mistake.
Don't worry,
Roland,
just go back to the beginning where you showed up
okay.
my team.
Okay. Oh,
That's
sorry. I think I forgot to change yours when I was done. So this is your team.
okay.
Sorry, Roland.
Okay,
Yes.
so looking at my team, Doherty is one who has to go. Like I said, the Vegas guy is just more or less him occupying space, but I'm not going to take him out. I think I've been burnt in the past 2 weeks by players I've been taking out. So even if I leave him on, it's okay. I mean, if he does something, fair enough. If he doesn't, too. For now, too, he's playing 52 minutes, 53 minutes. So it's a 1 point instead of 2 points. So if he doesn't do so I'll just take it like that. I think Vegas stays. I'll try Chris Wood. I'm not so keen on. I don't know why everyone's going for.
Everybody's mentioning Chris Wood. Roland Casa.
he's frozen.
Oh, he's up. He's frozen. Okay.
Mhm.
Is he coming? Is he coming? Is he really coming? Or Marvin, you move to your team. What is the opportunity to sort his team out? So let me Marvin, let me move to your team and then let me sort his team. By the time he'll be back, then it means I can speak. So Marvin, this is your team. What's your plan for this week?
Yeah, so honestly, this game with Chelsea is a bit too confusing. The reason is like anything goes. I've looked at my team. Number one, if I should just do transfers, Doherty, of course, is injured for me. But then I don't even need to play Doherty. So, for example, because Doherty is not playing, Ramsey is not playing, and Rafinha is not playing. So, if I decided to make a transfer, I think I have about 5 double game week players who are playing. And then my team is pretty much set. Any transfer I bring in means I have to bench somebody. And looking at my team, it's a bit difficult to bench. That's why I said that I have a feeling that the single game week players even look better than the double game week players. But of course, it doesn't make any sense to bench a double game week player. That's
Sure.
the first problem. So now that's the first issue that I have. I'm open honestly to play any of my chips, be it either
Okay.
free or the bench boost, because
Okay.
if I should do it, which it will mean that, for example, I do free hits, I can tackle the game week 33 properly because
Okay.
I'm not confident in my current double game
Squad.
week players at the moment,
Okay.
especially
Okay.
the Arsenal boys. It Pope and things like I don't know what they are doing. How these blending players.
Marvin, looking at your team, I think you can just bring in Rafinha. I said Rafinha. Madison for Rafinha.
And bench who?
And
That's
bench. That's your challenge, right?
yeah.
So you have 5-4-2. So you
Yeah.
play Adams over Broha, so that you play 4-4-2.
And I'll bench a double game week player in Broya.
Broha.
Have you seen my headache now? Exactly. That's what I'm facing. It's a big headache because
But it's also just one transfer. So you are not
but I'm benching a double game. Let's say the double game week player card doesn't do anything. And that was 2+2. That was 4 points.
Okay, but okay. So aside that, you are also bringing in Madison for the longer term. So you can also,
So for example, I can even hold the transfer, not do anything. You
and
understand?
then next week,
Yeah, plan is but you
you
see
have the
the two transfers. So it's that's answer that everything is open because it's a bit tricky. If I had players on the bench, whereby I didn't mind bench because now who do I bench? That's my first question. Who do I bench? Is the main problem. That's why I was like, that's why I'm considering something like the free hit, because the free hit, now when I know that I'm focusing on my first 11 and I'm tackling the first 11.
But everything said, your team is not bad, so I don't think you should free hit. I think rather if you want to free it, you can free it in 37 when there might be a 10 of the fixture. But you can also free it. So sometimes you know it's if the opportunity is there, take it. The opportunity is there, just take it.
But
You don't just have to wait for
I take a hit. I can take a hit and then not have the headache. Take about, I think I need to do a maybe like
minus 4.
-4 and -8, so that all my bench players just play, and I'll just do a bench boost. You understand?
Okay.
But I'm just glad tomorrow is a holiday because
I have time to think.
Yeah, because
Marvin, just go. What were your plans again? You said you do bench boost.
I said I can do anything this game week. The reason being that I have a problem. I can decide not to do anything because I have 5 game week players. Now my bench currently is Doherty, Ramsey, and Rafinha, who don't play, which is good for me.
Go to his team and let me have a look. Okay.
I can decide not to do anything because Doherty, Ramsey, and Rafinha on the bench. So my team chooses itself. Play my team, roll the transfer. Now, of course, any player I bring means I have to bench somebody. Now, who do I bench? Raymond was like bringing Madison for Rafinha, and who do I bench? I should bench Broya, and I can't bench a double game player.
That one's true.
Yeah, I can't bench a double game player. So who do I bench? Do I bench Robertson, James against Arsenal, Kulisevsky against Brighton? Are you okay?
I don't see that game to be high scoring.
Somebody who has 12 points, who got towards the 12 points or whatever. So that's my issue. So I can just, that's what I'm saying, that either I do, maybe I'll think more clearly right now. Maybe I'm tired.
Marvin, I think we can resolve it. If we can use 2
hours,
I
have a big problem. I can resolve it now.
Tomorrow.
Either I do it, just hit onto the whatever players, and then I know that I'm going with my best 11 I can put, or do a -8 and do a bench boost so that all my players play. Or don't do anything at all and roll the transfer and get to it.
Okay. So this is me. This is me. I am captaining Kane for now. I'm captaining Kane ahead of Madison for now, but maybe I might change and captain Madison. So this is how my team is looking at. I am bringing in Schmeichel for Mendy, and maybe I might do a -4 to bring in Alonso. I want to set up my team for next week, so maybe I might do a -4 and bring in Alonso. I'll depend on that, but my key transfer for this week is just to bring in Schmeichel in the pool, and then I'll just move on. Maybe I'll captain Kane. Maybe I'll change to Madison. One of these two. So I'm fearing the Kane because of the early kickoff. If Kane was the early kickoff, but Kane was, I don't know. I'm captain Kane. So that's the best.
I dare say this. I dare say this. That I don't see that game to be a high scoring game.
Okay.
There I see it. Yeah.
Okay, so
go on.
Yeah, yes. So the FPL Ambassadors League is also there. Alex is now at 7th, and then Precious is now at 10th, and then we have a new leader on top. I hate the dictatorship. Maybe you see if he can win it, but it's a keenly contested one over there. So, any final comments, gentlemen?
Please, the wood there. You should be careful before you buy him, because I don't see any prospect there. Anyone who wants to buy wood, no.
So you're saying that Chris Wood will be like Wegos there, so people should be cautious there.
Guy has gotten 2. He scored just last week from the pen. Everyone would.
Okay, so not bad then. Marvin, any comments? Captaincy. Who will you captain? We need to speak about. I think we did analysis and we forgot about captaincy. Are you confused?
Yes, this game week, I'm sorry. I think I'm just confused on every front. Who do you captain? Saka against who? Charlie. I don't know, man. We're currently on Saka Monday. I think it's on Saka. Vice captain.
Yeah, he said that.
Vice captain is Kane or something. I don't know whether I'll change.
So thanks, managers, for joining us. All the best to you all for this game week. Follow us on FPL Ambassador Show on Twitter. Our handles are there. Let's all look at how to grow, and don't forget to like the channel. I always forget to say the like at the end. I always say it at the end. I don't say it at the beginning. So people should like and then give your comments as well. And all the best. We'll meet God willing next week for 34. Hope Chelsea beats Palace, and then it makes things easier for us as well. All the best managers. We'll be going next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye. Palace, and then he makes things for